Warning, due to some language and subject matter, listener discretion is advised.
Beyond the stage lights, the random chatter, and all the laughter in between, there has to be a nucleus in which an entertainer has to determine whether they are in show business or have a show hobby. My next guest has pondered that question many times, not only for his own benefit, but also for the sake of putting over those that have chosen to be on his journey with him. Joining me on the podcast today is stand-up comedian, actor, and promoter, Elgato Felix Izel. Currently based out of Lincoln, Nebraska, Felix sat down with me before he makes the big move to Hollywood, California, for my first in-person episode since December of last year. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Caught on the Mic. Ladies and gentlemen, joining me today is Elgato Felix Izel. How you doing, man?
Man, I'm doing good. And about now we're doing better.
Living the life of luxury on my casting couch.
By the way, before we on your casting couch, whoa, easy. But no, so I gotta just let everybody know because they need the visual here. All right. So you come into my boy Clark's studio, Michael Clark. You come into his studio. There's a lava lamp. All right. There's graffiti on the walls. All right. But here's the thing. You go into the restroom. There is a replica 1-Up Arcade Mortal Kombat 1, 2, and 3. Like right there in the restroom.
Yeah.
Like, that's next level, baby.
I mean, who doesn't want to take a shit and like beat up Raiden?
Man, I just don't. But the thing is, man, is like I'm clowning you on it, but I straight up had the 1-Up Arcade NBA Jam.
Right.
I had that in my living room. I downsized everything for the move that we're gonna talk about later. But yes, I am in the studio here. Scented candles. This is a killer vibe, man. I gotta say, anybody who's like wants to get on a podcast, man, you got to come down into the studio. It's righteous, brother.
Well, thank you very much, sir. And you are actually the very first person that's come down and done this in person in almost a year. I've been doing all of my interviews remote, and this is awesome. I think we connected almost a year ago.
Right.
And we've been talking about doing this, and we had to get it in before you left town.
Yeah, man. Well, I appreciate you, bringing me in such style. Dude, great setup here, man. Great setup.
Thank you, brother. So without further ado, why don't you introduce yourself and kind of tell your origin story a little bit?
All right, right on. So my name is Gato Felix Izel, and as far as the origin story in the context of stand-up comedy, that's what I do, right? So I'm a stand-up comedian here out of Lincoln, Nebraska, getting ready to bounce out, to make the move out to Hollywood, California. And the thing is here's something really weird, and all my haters will agree. I don't think I'm that funny. I don't think I'm that funny. So I used to be an actor, like in theater and stuff like that, and a professional actor. I never made it, obviously. I was back home in Lincoln. An ex-girlfriend of mine, back then we were together, she was looking at old pictures and flyers of when I acted, right, on stage. And she said, man, I wish I could have seen you on stage. Now, for the people that you love, and I had abandoned that dream because I was like, whatever, I'm not going to do it. I didn't make it. For the people that you love, you do stuff, right? So I said, whatever. So I auditioned for like a play at the community playhouse, and I got the role, and it was a romantic comedy, and whatever. So we did it, and it was a hoot. It was a blast. Like, shout out to Leticia, who she played my romantic interest in it. She's a friend of mine. It was crazy. She was actually my girlfriend in junior high for like 2 weeks or whatever. So shout out Letty. And then she played my romantic interest in this play. That was really cool. And then I was like, okay, cool. I did it. That's it. I'm done. And then the ex-girlfriend, she goes, my brother-in-law and my cousin are doing this stand-up comedy competition. And I'm like, look, I get it's performing arts, but baseball, basketball, they're performing arts, but theater and comedy are totally different things. I'm not a comedian, whatever. She coaxed me in for the people you love. We break up 10 days or a week before the stand-up comedy competition. I've never done stand-up comedy in my life. Out of 20 comedians between Omaha and Kansas City, I get third.
Oh, wow.
Right. So that was at the now out of business Comedy Loft. Okay?
Sure.
So they invite me back. So here's the thing. I was like, okay, cool. I did it. I'm done. And I broke up with her. I'm whatever. I decided that I was going to go down to Mexico and hang out with my family that I hadn't seen in a while over Christmas of 2018. So I go down, I'm just hanging out, and I get an email from the comedy club, right? The Comedy Loft, excuse me. And they said, hey, we're going to start up our season again. Do you want to come do open mics? And I'm like, I guess, but again, I'm not thinking this. They invite me to do open mics, and they're like, look, we'll pay you in tickets and drinks to the shows. So I was like, well, that's cool. I thought that's just how it worked. I had no idea how this stuff works. So I actually post on Instagram, oh, dude, when they keep giving you tickets and drinks, why stop going, right? Something like that. They're like, dude, you got to take down that post. We don't do that. Like, that's just like a you thing. That's like something, whatever. And I'm like, oh, shit. All right. So I keep doing the open mics. They keep I'm getting like free tickets to like different shows, and I'm seeing comedians. Then they say, hey, do you want to MC for us in May? And I'm posting on social media and stuff, like all the stuff that I'm doing. And then one of my fans, I guess, right, of my social media stuff, she reaches out and she goes, hey, I got a friend that owns a bar in Central City, Nebraska. You ever been out there, Clark?
No.
Oh, do you even know where it's at?
No.
Exactly, man. I only know where it's at because of this thing. So it's
Right.
out by like Grand Island and Aurora.
Okay,
All
gotcha.
right? Yeah, So the guy hits me. So this is the weird thing that's happening throughout this whole time. I'm meeting comedians and I'm asking them, hey man, how much do you, how much should I charge if someone says do a show? Granted, I never had a show done, right? This one comedian who will remain nameless, he goes, dude, sometimes you got to do it for dinner and drinks. I'm like, dude, that's lame.
Right.
Dude, I can't pay taxes and dinner and drinks.
Right.
So I was like, well, this is stupid. I'm not going to do this. Anyways, so the fan says, I got a friend out in Central City, owns a bar. Would you go do a comedy show out there? Just because she just liked me.
Right.
And she has access to a comedian. Alleged comedian. And I go, yeah, for sure. The guy, we're talking, he goes, yeah, man. And he's like, I can get you dinner and drinks. And I knew right then, dude, total Yoda, Empire Strikes Back. Once you start down the path of the dark side,
right.
Am I going to be a chump? Dinner and drinks, Hell no. I told the guy, look, I can't do it for dinner and drinks.
Right.
We made the money work, and the money has to be, here's the thing is like, if I break down what I earn into an hourly rate, then I got to at least get paid that. Right.
Yeah.
So we made the money work, right? It was definitely more than dinner and drinks. It was more than the Comedy Loft paid me, by the way. So, and I was going to head out there. So that was in the books. I hadn't even done the Comedy Loft yet. Comedy Loft invites me to MC. No problem, dude. I do 4 shows, 2 Friday, 2 Saturday. It was a fun experience, and I get this check and I'm looking at it and I'm like, dude, this is whack. My whole weekend was shot and this is it, a couple $100, like whatever.
Right.
So anyways, and on top of it, I didn't like the way the guy talked to me. I'm going to keep it 100, man. He talked to me sideways.
Yeah.
And so I was like, this isn't worth it.
Right.
I got integrity. I got dignity. The very next day we go to Central City. Dude, we do the Central City show. It was nuts. By the way, I will say this. Myself as the MC and then the opening act definitely killed. We brought the house down and it was awesome. And that's when I knew the power of stealing the show.
Right.
I'll say that the opening act stole it. I didn't steal it. This guy was awesome. Akeem Woods, actually, now he's doing like super big things. So that was really cool. He came to our town and did that. And I hope that one day that he comes back. He's a great guy. Everybody follow Akeem Woods. So anyways, now we go do the Central City thing. And it's just me. I grab my brother and I'm like, hey, bro, dude, remember when we used to do all that like poetry slam stuff? And he's like, yeah, man. I was like, well, remember how I got you into that? He's like, well, yeah. I was like, now we're going to do comedy. I need you to write some jokes.
Right.
No idea about structuring a joke. No idea how this is supposed to work. I was like, yeah, dude, just get 10 minutes of jokes and then you'll be the MC. You'll introduce, our buddy over here. And so actually my ex-girlfriend's cousin, I get him to come along. Right. And I'm like, dude, I don't know. I was like, the guy said dinner and drinks. If you guys want to do it for that, if not, I'll just do the thing. So they're like, yeah, fuck it. We'll go. And then I go for like 30 minutes.
Right.
And again, I have no idea what I'm doing. I don't even have an idea that 30 minutes is like a long time.
Right.
We go, we destroy, we kill. That town had no idea what happened. People said after they were partying. It was awesome. So that happened. Then someone heard about it and they said, hey man, we need you to go meet this guy. You know, he owns Rosie's, Ryan Rosenthal. Super awesome guy. Guy's amazing. Dude's a fantastic businessman. We're hanging out at his crib. It was so cool. It was the NBA Finals. He had just got done shooting pictures for his menu. So he had like all the food at his house, all the drinks. The guy's one of the most hospitable. I mean, just like total hospitality, class act from beginning to end. Somewhere in the third quarter, I just hit him up and I was like, hey man, you know, we know why we're here. This person brokered us to hang out tonight to meet. You know, everyone's hanging out. So he and I, we struck a deal, did a show at Rosie's. Again, I don't know what I'm doing. Right. He doesn't know, but he's got this back room.
Sure.
It's not a big risk for him. Dude, we go, we kill. Again, it's me, my brother. I go, hey bro, I need you to do this thing. You go, okay, cool. And I get, you know, these other guys to open. Okay, cool. We do it in August 17th. I post on Facebook, sold out, 100 seats in 4 hours. So we do another show, sold that out in a couple of days. So now it's 200 seats that are sold out. Plus, people just came in anyways. Standing room only. We rocked it. We did it again in November. Rosie's rocked it. We're like, he's like, dude, do this every month. And I'm like, I can't write like this every month. But what I can do is maybe I can find other comedians. Pandemic hits.
Oh.
Right. I had sold out a show in March. Pandemic hits. I'm like not canceling, right? Because everyone's like shutting down 2 weeks to flatten the curve. I'm like, nope. Because people already bought tickets and I already spent the money.
Right.
I'm like, you know, I didn't know. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. Anyways, that stops us. I had met some other comedians, right? At Rosie's. They were doing an open mic. They were awesome. So then pandemic kills everything. I keep following their page and they are doing an open mic at Romology. So I was like, I don't do open mics, but I'm going to go and just like wave the flag, support these guys. I bring friends to just sit in the crowd and watch.
Right.
One of the guys coaxed me up on stage after everybody's gone. And with open mics, it's the exact opposite. You want to go on early because that's when everybody's there. Towards the end, nobody's there.
Right.
I go up, I talk shit for 10 minutes, bring the house down. The owner comes up to me. He goes, hey man, I want to book you. And I'm like, I got this deal over here at Rosie's, which is an awesome deal. And so I look at him, I'm like, look, dude, I'm going to sound like a real arrogant asshole because you don't know me and I don't you, but I don't think you can afford me because my paycheck comes with a comma, you know? And so I think this perked his ears up. We start talking. He makes the deal sweeter. Next thing you know, I'm at Romology. And Romology, dude, if you got to go down there, man, it is posh. It is class act all the way.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so big shout out to Jay Donaldson. He's actually become my friend because of our business dealings, you know? And so that's just one of those things, man. When anything good that happens in Hollywood, I got to give Jay Donaldson and everybody else, because those are the giants whose shoulders I'm standing on.
Right.
You know?
Right.
So that's the origin story. And now here I am.
Yeah, absolutely. I think there's two tiers to what you're talking about. First and foremost, Felix the performer, and
Right.
then Felix the promoter.
Right.
And, you know, you led off your story with saying that you aren't funny.
Right.
But the thing is you have a background in theater. You have a background in drama.
Yeah.
And, you know, I've talked about it plenty of times on my show. You know, my background is music, but very much like you, I actually started off acting.
Sure.
That's what I got scholarships for in
Yeah.
high school, and that's what I
Same.
was going to do. I was going to go to college and I was going to become an actor. And
Right
but then I kind of went a totally different path. Do you think that maybe having that background just lent to a natural talent for timing and performance that maybe made you, I don't want to use the word believable, but like very added to your integrity as a performer as being a stand-up comic?
You know, here's the thing. Yes. So short answer is yes. And to
Sure.
expand on that, you know, you gotta put in your chops, man. You gotta put in the reps. You gotta do the thing, right? Kobe Bryant work ethic, all that stuff, right?
Right.
So with the acting and with the comedy, you're absolutely right. There's timing, there's writing, and there's always a constant learning.
Right.
I heard Chappelle say, and I don't know if he heard it from Murphy, who heard it from Pryor, or how it goes down, right? You can be funny, but you gotta be interesting.
Right.
And I'll add this, man. You know, my brother introduces me as Mr. Sunday Morning, right?
Okay.
Shout out to, Mr. Saturday Night, right? Mr. Sunday Morning. But you also got to be entertaining. That's the deal, man. You got to be entertaining. And and I'll also say you got to be memorable. There are a lot of comedians that, especially now that I've booked, I don't know, however many shows we've done. You see these guys and they're good and they're funny, but do you remember them?
Right.
Or these gals, but do you remember them? And that's the key thing. Or are they just another comedian that does their 10, 15, even 40 minutes, but you don't remember them?
Right. Yeah. No,
Right.
I wholeheartedly agree. And, I can even parallel that to what we're doing right now.
Totally.
I created this podcast a year and a half ago. And the question that I posed myself before I did it was, is this going to be something that I would listen to if I was not on it?
Dude, that's it, man. And here's the thing, because we've all got friends.
Right.
So those first shows I did at Rosie's, those are my friends.
Right.
Those were, 300 of my closest friends that are cramming that place in.
Right.
Okay, that's awesome. So anybody could throw themselves a party, which is what I did. And by the way, I would encourage anyone, and I've shared this, if you are a stand-up comedian and you want to do something, or if you're a band or whatever, dude, throw your own party.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Throw your own party.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Get 300 of your friends to come through.
Right.
If you got the lead time to do it, definitely do it, man. Get some momentum going.
Right.
But here's the thing is your friends aren't going to be there every single show.
Right.
So what are you going to do? Would you listen to your podcast?
Exactly.
Yeah, I love it. That's it, man.
That's creating content that's memorable, as you said, and something that resonates with people, that they can walk away and take something away from.
Right.
So, you described it really well in the context of comedians. Like, is this somebody I'm going to remember in the future? Is this a face I'm going to remember?
Right.
Is there a punchline that I'm going to remember and recite to my friends and what have you? I had somebody tell me one time, nobody is going to invest in you until you invest in yourself.
100%, man.
Right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So it sounds like, swaying this more towards the business aspect.
Yes.
You took a big investment of yourself and you took control of the business properties that kind of surround your creative endeavors.
Totally, man. And, it's not just, hey, man, the art of the deal, so to speak. Right.
Right.
Right. And so I gave the Cliff Notes version of that. There's obviously negotiations that are involved. Right. And that's the thing, is that if the deal that you're cutting takes 10 minutes to do, you got a 10-minute deal.
Right.
If you've got one that, hey, we're going to have to sit down and really work some stuff out and maybe even think about this for a day or two, you got a bigger deal going on.
Right.
That's the thing. So again, anybody could cut a quick 10-minute deal. Hey, you know what? Can I come do a show on off night? $5 a ticket for sure. Right. Can I come to an open mic on a Tuesday, on a Wednesday? Yeah, no problem, man. Come on an off night, come on a Wednesday. The bar loses nothing. You get $5. But now you got a $5 show.
Right.
Right. You take control, and then, but damn it, give them a show. At Romology, man, when you walk into Romology, they have a sidebar. This sidebar, and that's for birthday parties or whatever, right? And that's cool. And when they have the caterers come in, they set up there. I was talking to Jay, and I go, Jay, it'd be great if this could be our green room.
Yeah.
Right? Because the green rooms that I had seen are the size of a broom closet.
Yeah.
And then most places, the comedian just sits in a back table. I go, dude, let's treat people, artists, like their art is worth something. So I asked him, I go, man, can we put a big old curtain? And we're talking about, 20 foot, up there, whatever. He looks about it and he goes, I think that could work. And then I asked him, can we have a dedicated spotlight? You go to Romology, there's a spotlight that's only purpose is to shine on the people that come out from behind the curtain.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So this isn't a theater. You get me? Right. Romology is a craft cocktail, fine elixir bar, real swanky place. But when there's a show there, when there's a Gato show, and I don't know what's going to happen afterwards, but I was like, dude, if that blue cat is going to be on there. So when you're talking about taking control of the business aspect, then what product are you putting forward?
Right.
you know?
Yeah. And what you're describing in a lot of ways is what separates a show from an event.
Yeah.
Too. You have to take that event mentality. You have to create that moment where they're going to choose your thing that you're doing.
Yeah.
Sometimes against a Husker game,
right,
or sometimes against, a concert at Pinnacle Bank or something along those lines.
Totally.
So how do you do that? Like, how do you decipher that your event is going to be what people choose?
Dude, you give them a show, right? And I give them Mr. Sunday Morning, you know? You got to give them the man that your mom loves more than you, you know? But the thing is you go up there and you're thinking it's about your art. No matter what, dude, you're at best distant third.
Yeah.
It's about the audience. See, if art was just about yourself, then you could just do it just for yourself.
Oh man, you just set me up for my own anecdote on this same thing.
All right.
So back in the day,
Yeah.
I was playing in bands and what have you. And
Right.
that's kind of how I established myself. It's
Totally.
like, I'm going to set up every show as an event. It's like, it's going to be the thing that other bands want to be a part of.
Right.
So I had rules, I had structure. It's like, okay, if this band is played within 6 weeks of my event, I'm probably not going to put them on the bill because what are they going to add to the show? So, of course, you know what that does? That invites out the haters. That invites out the critics. And yep. But I had one guy in particular. It was on a local music message board, and we were talking about it. And he's somebody I don't know if I'd call him a friend, but an acquaintance. And he had direct messaged me, and he says, "Hey man, you really need to put me on the shows. I remember back in the day, I used to put you on shows and this, that, and the other thing." Well, there was simultaneously on this public message board a thread going on about what it took to get people to come out to shows. Right. And I chimed in. I gave my whole business premise. I'm like, you have to do this, 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 and this. Well, yeah, pretty much.
Right.
And I referred to bands as a product.
100%.
The same guy the same guy that direct messaged me says, "This is my art. It is not a product." And it's like, then you don't want to fucking make money or play at any of the good venues or be on any of the good shows.
That's it.
It's like, you have to have enough dissonance to be able to separate the art from the product and know that they can be one and the same.
Yes.
You can make commerce off your art. You just have to apply basic business principles to your art.
And not be a chicken shit.
Exactly.
Right. So here's the thing, right? So here we go. My art is my product.
Right.
Right. Okay, great. So that's the product, right? Who's the consumer? The audience.
Right.
Awesome. What's the marketplace? The venue.
Right.
Right. So the job is to get the consumer and the product to the same marketplace.
Right.
Right. So I need to get the art and the audience to the venue.
Right.
That's what we do. So at first, thank God that I'm a likable person and I got a lot of friends. Right?
Right.
That's cool. They're not, I don't have all the friends, but I have enough friends that, I can get 300 people to come out, and do back-to-back shows. If we could have fit 300, we would have fit 300.
Right.
Right. We just happened to because I was only going to do one show.
Sure.
And then we're like, oh shit, we got to add a second show. And then it was like, we might as well do an after party.
Right.
And there's a formula. And I tell these cats, I'm like, that's how you do it. Do 2 shows and an after party, and have a blast and give people a product. Don't just kick them out the door. Now they're here. Embrace them. Talk with them. So that's the thing, dude. Boom, boom, boom. But yes, have some damn business acumen and put it on the table. And there's nothing wrong with earning a paycheck from this stuff.
No, not at all. Not at all. If you want to be an artist, stay in your fucking basement and be an artist.
Right. And that's totally cool. So here's the thing, man. It's show business, not show hobby.
Bingo.
Right? That doesn't mean that it's a bad, I am a hobbyist when it comes to basketball.
Right.
Right? I will never, not in my wildest dreams, be a starting shooting guard for the San Antonio Spurs. 1, I'm 5'10", and 2, I'm not that good. That doesn't mean that I don't love basketball. Doesn't mean I don't love the Spurs. Doesn't mean that I'm not a fan. It doesn't mean that, even to this day, I'll lace up the, the high tops and shoot some, jumpers.
Right.
At best, I'll be a hobbyist. I'll not be a professional.
Right.
Right. So the thing is, man, I had to make that choice. Am I doing this as a show hobby? Am I doing this for show friendship? Am I doing this for vanity? And again, if you want to do that, that's totally cool. Right. Because how much do sportsmen, fishermen, I mean, between the bass boats and the finders and the poles and the weekend.
Right.
Dude, and good for you. And you should have a hobby. And I think that art can be a hobby as well.
Right. It sure can.
Right. But if we're on a different vibe. And that's the difference between the guy that's going to go fishing and the guy that's like practicing to go on the tournament trail and wants to really, do some fishing.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah. And, as artists, as I hold up the air quote,
right,
people tend to have a very selfish mentality with it. And they're not looking at the fact that a venue's looking at you and they're like, how do I get asses in seats? How do I sell drinks?
Right.
At the end of the day.
That's it.
And like the venue is going to choose 10 times out of 10 the band or the comedian or the artist that's going to try their damnedest and be successful at selling drinks and filling asses in seats.
That's it.
Not the guy that wants to be artsy in his fucking basement. I'm sorry, I keep going back to that.
But it's true though. So, and here's the thing. So as I've looked at like different comedians and I work with them, right? And so a guy like me, I ride the edge, I push the envelope. I don't go overboard.
Sure.
Right. And that's just my comedic style. I'm also not a roaster. I'm not a ball buster. I don't pick on the crowd. But I definitely slice up hecklers, dude. There hasn't been a heckler that's toppled me. I'm sure that's going to be an open challenge now. But the reason is because if it gets out of control, you got security. So, you know what, man? Be a part of the show, but then chill.
Right.
The thing is like, if it's just that whole like artist thing, and there are definitely fringe venues that want the super raunchy or the super political or the super whatever.
Yeah.
And you just have to understand that is going to be a fringe thing. And you'll probably, to be successful, have to be in a city that's huge to have enough people that are there about that.
Sure.
In Lincoln, Nebraska, I don't think we could fill a venue if all we did was politics or super shocking dark humor, And I tell everybody, dude, if you're a dark humorist, that's cool.
Right.
That's not my show.
Right. And I think there's also a kind of a progression, and I think this applies to any form of the arts where maybe you need to establish a baseline of who you are first, and then you can kind of start experimenting with the fringe stuff and start throwing that stuff in. But you really got to establish who you are first, and get a baseline.
So if we look at like Chris Rock.
Yes.
Couple years, 2019, he comes out with Tambourine Man.
Right.
I don't know if you saw it on Netflix.
Yep.
Right. This is Chris Rock, who gave us Bigger and Blacker, shiny suits in the late 90s, early 2000s, right?
Right.
And Chris Rock back then was like, right? And he's walking back and forth the stage, high energy, doing all this stuff.
Right.
Tambourine Man comes out. Chris Rock is in jeans, a t-shirt, clean shaven, and he's there talking about his divorce and the challenges or what have you. But the thing is, this was a very artistic piece. Theater in the round, right?
Yeah,
or at least like a half circle theater or something. But Chris Rock could go artistic, could go fringe, because we already know the resume is solid.
Yeah.
Right? We already know that he's solid. Andy Kaufman could go out and read a book on stage because that's the most Andy Kaufman thing to do.
Well, and Chappelle's doing the same thing.
Chappelle's doing the same thing.
Right now.
Right. Dude, who's the guy? Is it Gaffigan that refused to do any more Netflix? I want to think it's Gaffigan. But there's a cat out there, one of the big time comedians that they didn't take a Netflix deal. It was offered it to him. He goes, no, I'm doing it my way. Totally solo. And then making all the cheddar now.
Craziness.
Yeah, man. But so Sebastian. Dude, man, I always mess up his last name. The Italian dude, right? Physical, comedian, hot. He's played like Madison Square Garden. I always mess up his name. I feel so bad because I get upset when people mess up my name, Maniscalco. So anyway, he's played that, and he's doing TV shows for Discovery.
Sure.
But I could definitely see that guy in 10, 15 years just doing something, again, fringe, super cool. But you're right. You have to establish the baseline.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who you are, your identity.
For sure. Now that we've established who you are, and we've kind of shared some common ground.
So you think, right?
What is next for Elgato?
Dude, so here's the thing, man, is we could keep rocking here.
Right.
I've got a fantastic relationship with Romology, Jay Donaldson. I can't say enough good things. I've been really lucky.
Yeah.
Seriously, because I also got to get, in that same breath, I got to give shout outs to Rosie's, big time, man. But Jay Donaldson, I'm leaving that stage. So on the 17th of November, right? I don't know when this podcast is going to go live, but the 17th of November, which is a Wednesday, the day after this is recorded, that is when I end my residency.
Yeah.
At Romology. I am the resident comedian. I do a weekly trivia show that's now going away. Or no, the trivia isn't. I'm going away. Trivia by Gato is going away. Trivia is going to live on at Romology. And the Corey, oh my gosh, she's awesome. She's a bartendress there. She's going to take over. She's got great personality. Definitely go to Trivia by Corey or by Romology. I'm leaving that stage, and I'm happy to. I don't want to hold on to it. And this is an open invite. Any comedian, if you're ready to take it to the next level, if you're like a hobbyist on this and you want to say, let's experiment with professionalism, give a call to Jay Donaldson. Give a call to Romology. Say, dude, I heard Gato talking about it. It's not my stage anymore, guys. And whoever's out there, because what's next for me, dude, is we can say here in Lincoln, I'm a big fish in a small pond. And that I'm going to go out to Hollywood and I'll be a small fish in a big pond. But really, the size of the fish is the same.
Right.
The fish is going to grow to its surroundings. So I just need to grow. I need to go out there. I need to bang. I need to all right, let's knock some heads. Let's see what the competition's about. Let's get the best, be amongst the best of the best and really see what that's like. Let's go out there 19 hours a day, grind it out, right? Dude, eat dirt, cut your teeth on the cement, the whole thing. Dude, the auditions out there are 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Right. And the thing is even if you get in, you're still not all that because they just got to keep filling slots. You're in the meat grinder. So there is nothing that's in the bag. Do I have leads? Yes. Do I have warm leads? Yes. I mean, have I been out to LA? Have I been doing stuff? Absolutely. Have I posted about it? No, because it's all just talk until you do it.
Yeah.
Right?
Totally. Anytime I book somebody on this show in particular, right. And that's what I kind of have to rebound to. I don't tell anybody who I have on the show until the thing's recorded.
You got it.
Right?
Right.
because that money isn't yours until it's in your bank account.
That is it, man. That is so it. And it's just like anything else in life, man. Dude, people let you down.
Yeah.
And you got to roll with it.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that I've let people down and they got to roll with it too. And you come into this with the greatest of intentions, so to speak, right? And things happen and there's sensitive thugs everywhere and
keyboard warriors and all the same.
Dude, they all need hugs. But there's plenty of opportunities for those guys to do their things, man. And here's something that's interesting, dude. Like you meet a lot of people.
Yeah.
You meet a ton of people and they're all just chasing their nut as well. And you can't fault them for that.
Right.
Right. Because I'm not going to pay their bills. I got to get on my thing first.
Right.
But I do have a list. And this list consists of everybody that I'm coming back for. I don't have a list for the people that I'm not going to come back for. But I definitely have a list of the people that I'm going to come back for. You know, the people that I want to continue to work with, and basically you don't have enough time to make a blacklist or anything like that. Those people work themselves out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Those are the people that they'll cancel on you. Those are the people that, they'll talk bad about you. They'll, this and that. And that's fine because they can do all that and they can shine on and they can do whatever they got to do, but you got to worry about your own thing and then make sure it's imperative. I think in good business, no matter what it is, also deal with character.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just deal with character. I mean, if I'm not dealing with somebody, it's because something about their character didn't vibe with mine.
Yeah. I'm the same exact way.
I might not be everybody's favorite and that's okay.
Yep.
And because you don't have to be everybody's favorite. So just worry about the people who do love you, who do support you, who are on your squad.
Yeah. Yeah. For sure. And it's so easy to burn bridges these days. And it's almost like it's an art form. and I think it's because we have information at will. We have Twitter, we have Facebook, we have Instagram, we have all this information at will. So, canceling somebody, and I hate using that term now because it's been so overused, but canceling somebody is really, really fucking easy. But putting somebody over, and that, of course, going to the pro wrestling term, because we're mutual fans of the Macho King, Randy Savage.
I love, first of all, he's my top favorite wrestler of all time, right? He's on my Mount Rushmore. I love Randy Savage. And yes, though, dude, talk about putting people over.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and that's the thing. Like, you want to elevate everybody around you because it's playing the long game for yourself, too.
Yeah, man. So it's called the Gato Comedy Showcase, right?
Right.
Everybody knows I'm Gato.
Right.
Right. So I couldn't just be up there like headlining my own shows.
Right.
That's just, now I'll say this though. If I was doing like my first shows, right? Or if I was doing like a one every 6 months or whatever, definitely headline your own shows.
Right.
Right. Absolutely. You should do that. That's a good formula to have, right? If you're betting on yourself and dude, headline your shows, get that, get it going. But we were doing this like consistently at Romology. There was a comedy thing like once a month, so I couldn't headline my own thing,
right?
And I was like, we're building this whole thing. So there were comedians that were local, and I'm like, dude, I'm gonna put you over. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like I fast tracked, the guy, boom, like here you go. You got no experience, no worries. Neither did I, but you're a funny guy. You're a popular dude. Like, let's go. You know what I mean? I got this one comedian, man. Dude, I've booked him. I don't know how many. Mr. Z, dude. I was going to say, right? Mr. Z, Scott Zimmerman, who's running for governor, by the way, out on the Libertarian ticket.
Oh, that's crazy.
Dude, it's awesome. It's so nuts. I love that guy.
Yeah.
Dude, I've booked him I don't know how many times. I mean, he's just a funny dude. He's a good guy. He's a solid man. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Dude, if I can put him over, I will.
Sure.
For sure, dude. He's on that list of people I'm coming back for.
That's awesome. I think one of the most commendable things, and it's funny because you are my second guest in a row that I brought this up with, is taking a bet on yourself.
You got to.
And betting on yourself in times when it's not the easiest to do. It's different. It's much different now than it was 5 years ago. Way more different than it was 10 years ago.
For sure.
And even more different than what it was 20 years ago. So like it's getting harder. It's getting incrementally harder, especially when you're navigating the waters of social media influencers, people that are becoming famous overnight. Yeah. People are taking that craft all digitally,
right?
To where, you're actually doing it the old school way. You're picking your shit up and you're moving to Hollywood, man.
Yeah, but here's the thing. So you got to decide what your identity is, right?
Right.
So are you going to be a social media sketch comedian?
Right.
Which in itself is an art, and that's fine.
Yeah.
But dude, that's not me.
Right.
Right. So that's not me. So there's no way I could do that. I definitely haven't like utilized the full power of social media and its reach, and I think there's professionals that probably be better at that. And hopefully I can find someone to be like, yeah.
Right.
Right now, you talked about taking a bet on yourself, right? And at the toughest time for X amount of reasons. Dude, so one, everybody's like quickly can like drop an opinion about how much you suck and how offensive you are or how much off-putting you can be or whatever the case is, right?
Sure.
And at this level, dude, I'm still just a Joe six-pack type of guy. Right. It's not like I'm untouchable, whatever. I just happen to have a little bit of steam with me. How about this, man? And this is where I give Jay Donaldson so much credit.
Yeah.
Tons of credit. I bet on myself. That guy bet on me. His bar opens, pandemic hits. What the hell?
Right.
Right. You know, I'm not even talking politics. It just was what it was, right? Pandemic hits. Now it's tough, right? So he's looking at me and I'm looking at him and we're sitting here like, well, one of these days, all these people that I've sat here and bought tickets for, they're going to come to your bar.
Yeah.
I don't know when that is.
Right.
So then we drop a show. We're getting ready to do another one. And then the second shutdown happens.
Right.
Right. And this whole time, and I'm like, well, shit, dude, I don't know. And then he's like, let's do trivia or something, and what can we do? And I'm sitting here like, dude, this sucks. This guy still hasn't even seen me do anything, and this whole time he's just like, he's bet on me and he's bet on me and he's bet on me. I mean, I can't give the guy enough credit.
Right.
And it's hilarious, dude. He told me this. I had a corporate gig on Friday. They just so happened to choose Romology as the spot.
Nice.
Right. So that was like awesome. Right. So I'm doing this corporate gig. I'm hosting it. And they said they wanted comedy. And I was like, okay, well, it's not just going to be me. I'm going to bring another comedian, like an actual comedian, because I'm not. No, I'm bringing another comedian down and giving this guy a shot. And then also I told this guy, I said, look, it's going to be at Romology. I'm not there. The owner's going to be there. Impress the audience, impress him.
Sure.
Right? Be smart about it. This comedian's a big talker. Like he can breathe and talk at the same time. You know, Jay's not a big talker. So Jay comes up to me. He's like, dude, he's like, I realize I talk to you more than anybody else. And that like warmed my heart, man, because it's like from a business aspect, we became friends. So there's that character, and the guy is all character, all class. He's got nothing but my blessings, but my best wishes. You know, I gladly say, here's all the comedians I worked with. Here's the ones that I would book. Here's the ones that I wouldn't. You do what you want. If I can push your show from even out there, absolutely. So I'm going to say it a bunch of times, Romology. You know?
Right. But the thing is, I think the thing that Jay saw in you, and I don't know Jay from Adam, but
you got to meet him.
But I got to tell you, from what you're describing to me, is that he saw that you have a special mentality that not everybody has. And that's work ethic beats talent 100% of the time.
Yes.
And if you keep working, that talent's eventually going to be there.
Totally. And you know what? I think I might be talented. You know?
Yeah. Yes.
I mean, I don't know. No, but here's the thing, dude, is when it comes to entertaining,
yeah,
you can write the whole script.
Right.
Okay, cool. So here's the premise, here's the punchline, here's the tag, here's the callback, here's the this, right?
Yeah.
And like comedians know what I just dropped, and if not, look up those terms and you'll get it. But again, do you just have that je ne sais quoi? Right? Is there something about, like, I could get up there. Here's, dude, this my farewell show. All right. 2 weeks ago. I opened the fucking thing by singing an a cappella song that I wrote.
That's awesome.
Dude, why? I don't just because whatever, right? Don't you know that the audience was clapping? Half of them off beat, but they were clapping. Dude, you leave something like there's something memorable. I know that I could get up there, throw me any topic, and we could just have a conversation.
Sure. And
that's what we're having with. Here's the beauty of it, man. I'm going to go kumbaya on you for a second. We laugh because we can relate.
Right.
If you go to my shows, the youngest, and I cannot neither confirm nor deny that this happened. It may or may not have happened at Romology, but the youngest audience member is a 19-year-old with a fake ID. That most likely did not happen at Romology. Or maybe I'm just making it up because I want to like tell a really good story.
Sure.
That could be it too, okay? The oldest audience member is an 82-year-old woman. Everywhere in between, every demographic, every ethnicity, socioeconomic background, education, blue collar, white collar.
Right.
All right. They're all at these shows. You come, seriously, man, it is definitely a very mixed bag. Because people ask me, like, what's your crowd like? And I go, dude, it's all over.
Right.
You know, well, what kind of jokes? I read the fucking room. I hate it when comedians ask me, you know, what's your crowd like? Read the room, buddy. Be a pro. Anyways, when you see that everybody from all walks of life are laughing, that means they're all relating. And that means that we are not as separated as demographics would have us be.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, that's just it.
Yeah.
We're so much closer. And that's the beauty of stand-up comedy, is that you get to hear the audience around you agree with you when you make a joke. Yeah.
It's the humanity of the whole situation unites us.
That's beautiful. That's just gorgeous, man. Can we light the lava lamp now?
We're gonna take a couple of pieces of Colorado candy and light up the lava lamp.
Here it goes, man. But dude, that so we go back to the thing is who is the art for? Is it your message? No, man, dude, you perform for the audience.
Right.
You give them the show. You put that energy and it goes out there. You know, if you're just thinking it's for you, oh, look how awesome I am. Look how funny I am. Look how talented I am. Me.
Right.
Nah, bro. See, it's called Gato Comedy Syndicate. Syndicate means network.
Right.
Connectivity.
Right.
Right. I'm not out there calling it, hey man, it's the Felix Izel show. It's not even the Felix Izel show.
Right.
It's the Gato Comedy Showcase.
Right.
Right. Like it has nothing, and Gato is this arbitrary term, right? And that's it's not my face. It's a blue cat. You know what I mean? It has like nothing. It almost has nothing to do with me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like it has nothing to do with, so Gato is this creation,
Yeah.
It happens to be my creation, but like my birth name isn't Gato.
Right.
Right. But you know who Gato is? Gato is someone who loves the audience.
Yeah.
Who wants to see everybody connect.
Right.
And that, so the name of the brand is that, man. It's syndicate, it's network, it's connectivity.
Well, yeah. And building on the word syndicate, it's the synergy between audience and performer.
Boom.
Where the audience ultimately is your boss. Tying it back to the business side of it, the audience is who determines whether or not you're successul at the end of the day.
Duty.
Heavy duty. You make the investment, but they're the ones that carry you away from that investment.
That's it, man. That's it. And the audience here in Lincoln is always going to be a focus of mine.
Yeah.
Of course I want to be able to play, fucking Red Rocks. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Like the Hollywood Bowl, like that would be awesome.
Yes,
you know
sir.
what I mean? Like that would blow my mind. But I would love to get to that stage and then come back and drop a show at Romology.
Yeah.
That'd be the stuff. And it's so weird because like as I look here at like your studio, right? And you're doing the podcast thing. And you've made some inroads.
Oh yeah.
You've got some heavy hitting dude, all those fighters, man.
Yeah.
That's something that folks are like, wait, out of Lincoln, Nebraska?
Yeah, exactly. And the funny thing is when I pitch and I tell people where I'm at, I'm like, I have a little bit of hesitancy, and it's no disrespect to Lincoln at all. It's just, there are things that people are going to assume because you're nestled in the middle of the Midwest, where it's like, man, why do I want to do this corn-fed motherfuckers podcast?
You know why though? Because half of those fighters are corn-fed motherfuckers.
And it's not just fighters. Like the thing for me, if I were to kind of draw my own example here, would be that I want to create something very similar to what you're describing with your comedy show. Is I want everybody to be able to listen to my show, no matter who's on it, whether it be you or Drew Dober or Anthony Lionheart Smith or Steve Ewing from The Urge or any of those guys. I want the same listener to be able to listen to every single one of those episodes and take something away from that. Whether they're into that specific topic or that specific art form or not, they take something away from that.
And that's going to be your memorable trait.
Yeah, that's my niche.
That's the thing, is we got to be memorable, because how many podcasters are there?
Oh, that's exactly it. That's exactly it. Yeah.
And by the same token, how many, the reason that there's stand-up comedians don't get paid is because there's a ton of them.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm one of the ton. I'm one of the forgettable ones. My challenge when I get out to Hollywood, right, is to be memorable.
Yeah.
To say, dude, we want that guy. Yeah. And then it's like, hey, we want that Gato guy. And then we want Gato. You know what I mean? Like that's how it goes. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
That's the challenge, man. And never forget though that you're a corn-fed motherfucker. You know what I mean? But because not everyone was born in Hollywood, California.
Yeah.
Right. We just go there to cut the deal.
Right.
That's the thing, dude. I hope that like Larry the Cable Guy lives around here.
Right.
A lot of people happen to know where he's at, whatever. Super approachable dude.
Right. Right. So before you make that trip, what is your fondest memory of your time in the past 2 years in Lincoln, Nebraska?
Oh my gosh, dude. So in the scope of this comedy thing, dude, that's such a question, man. We're gonna have to like edit, because there's gonna be like a ton of dead air as I think about this thing. I can't nail it down to one, but I can definitely nail it down to those times when people come up and they're just like, that was the best show ever. Dude, that was amazing. When you said this about your dad, it made me think about my dad. When you're talking about your brother, it made me think about that. They come out, hey man, actually, I'll tell you that the best memory, dude, the best memory is it's the after party. We're just sitting there, right? The bar is just like clearing out or whatever.
Yeah.
And the energy now is just like coals. You know what I mean? Just like slow burning coals. And it's just chill and what have you. And I just look around at the people that are there and I'm like, dude, this is dope. And it brings me back to this other memory, which is right after Central City. We finished Central City. We all pile into this big old like church van type of thing, right? Because we all just went together. It was one of those Ford Transits, the big ones, right? It starts to rain, so shit, we all run out. And everybody gets in first, you know, and I hop into the front passenger seat.
Yeah.
And it was something like out of like a cheesy movie or whatever, right? And we're all like just hyped up. Because it wasn't just me and the other comedians. Like we brought friends with us.
Right.
Right. So I don't know. There was maybe 9 of us in that thing. And everybody's like, dude, high five. That was awesome. Just da 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 da. And I look at everybody and I was like, dude, here's the thing. Ride with me. Ride with me. I promise that like, I'm going to take us there. This is just the beginning. I'm going to take us there. I'm going to take us there. And it blows my mind because that night, the amount of money, the very little amount that I made versus like what I'm doing now, you couldn't say, how are you going to get there? Well, you get there through the grind and everything like that. So that's why Hollywood, though it's a big challenge, I'm like, dude, I'm just going to repeat what I did here out there.
Right.
And we're going to find out in a year, you know, whether this was show hobby or show business. And I tell you what, if it's show hobby, cool. You know, I'll hang it up. I'll be like, man, that was a fun ride. But I'm kind of betting on myself out there too.
Absolutely you are. And I think after listening to this episode, if my listeners don't know who you are, they will know who you are after this is all said and done. And I thank you for doing the show, man.
Dude,
this is amazing.
Awesome, man. No, thanks for having me. And I hope that in a year, right, that we can come back and we're both at this spot where like, let's just like get that energy to perpetuate our audiences even more.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Hopefully in a year,
right,
you've got top billing someplace or
right,
a starring role in something.
Right.
And I've got myself some of that Joe Rogan money from Spotify.
I love it, man. Well, I'm going to do the thing, man. I'm going to share the hell out of this, you know, out of your page or anything like that, man. Thanks for having me on. Dude, to all your listeners or whatever, thanks for listening in to me.
Yeah.
You know, and I hope that I got something for them.
Where can they find you online, sir?
Dude, just Elgato, man. Look for Elgato Felix Izel. Izel is my last name. So Elgato Felix Izel. Go across the social media platforms. Do a Google search to come to my website. All that stuff. If it's not as dope as anybody else's, don't worry about it. Come to the live show for sure. We'll give you something, man.
Man, I'm glad we finally got to connect.
Yeah.
And I'm glad you're here. The world's a better place with you in it, my friend.
Dude, I appreciate it. Thanks again.
I want to give a big shout out to my homie, the Gato, Elgato Felix Izel. Thanks for being on the show, and Godspeed to you, my friend, on your journey to Hollywood. He told you where to find him, friends. Make sure you give him a little like and follow on the Facey Space and any place where you can find him. Make sure if you haven't followed me on all forms of social media yet, you do so soon. Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram. It's the holiday season, so make sure you share your favorite episode of this podcast with one of your friends and give me that 5-star review on the Apple Podcast app. Thanks a lot for playing along, friends. This has been Caught on the Mic with Michael Clark. I'm Michael Clark. Until next time, thank you. Find all things podcast related at www.caughtonthemic.com.